Hi, I'm Mario Mancini, former WWE wrestler, and first inductee into the 2014 New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. When I want my wrestling news, I watch the Squared Circle.
Good evening, wrestling fans. It is February 24th, 2014, not 2013 according to my notes. I'll have to fire the person that wrote these notes.
You're fired.
You're fired. You are watching the award. Where's the award, too?
It's still out to be polished.
You are watching the award-winning awards being polished. Hopefully it'll be here next week. The award-winning Squared Circle. I want to let everybody know, will be our final episode on Monday night, not our final episode altogether.
Yes.
We are moving next week to Tuesdays at 8 p.m. here on NHTV, Cable 18, Channel 99, AT&T U-verse. You can catch us on Squared Circle 18. Due to the fact that today is probably the most historic day and maybe most nerve-wracking day for some people trying to get online.
Yeah, this day will live in infamy, and I'm sorry, this page is not available. I'm sorry, this page is not available. That's all I got this morning. It was crazy.
It'll live in infamy and glory.
Hopefully.
On the flip side of it.
It seems to be, as we speak, they've gotten all the glitches and bugs worked out, and the network is up and running. And I got a peek at it before we came on the air today, and so far it looks pretty good. And I'm excited to see what happens tonight after Raw, because you know they're going to leave Raw wanting you to go directly to the network. So something huge and monumental is going to happen at like about 10:57 tonight. Something huge, monumental, maybe the first space alien wrestler, Elon, I don't know. Well, they do have a show on the network as we speak for the worst gimmicks. The worst characters, I believe they call it, but it's the worst gimmicks. The worst gimmicks. Yeah, so you can. That's available on demand on the network already. We did watch the best catchphrases, about a 47-minute presentation there on the best catchphrases, and the #1 catchphrase being "Woo!" Of course. And the Yes Chant made it, and You Can't See Me made it, and Booker T. Yeah. Booker T. Sucker. Sucker, yeah. Can you dig it? Can you dig it, sucker? There you go. That's it, yeah. I was having a senior moment there. Mm-hmm. But this is, like I said, this is our last Monday night. Next Tuesday you can catch us due to the fact that on this network will be a Raw pre-show. Yes. So we decided rather than go up, do our own ratings war. We have conceded the Monday Night Wars. Already. So we will be on Tuesday nights. So we'll give you more like a recap of Raw upcoming for SmackDown and our usual pay-per-view reviews, and even more importantly, PWA and all your local. All the local indie. We haven't really touched too much on indies lately with all the excitement with the network, but we will be getting back to that. Yeah, we'll get back to that. And you know, to be fair, RWE hasn't been running over the winter. We did have an NEFW show on Saturday, ran against PWA, so we opted to be at the PWA show. But you know, not to demean or dismiss NEFW. Of course not. Northeast Wrestling is a strong presence in our area, and we'll be back to reporting that soon. Definitely. But the big report tonight, everybody knows this, and anybody that hasn't been living underneath a rock has known this, something we predicted accurately once again, like we always do, and I'm not even a psychic. Hulk Hogan will be returning tonight to Monday Night Raw. I don't exactly know when during the 3-hour period he will be returning, whether he's going to kick it off right off the bat or halfway through. Or that may be the lead into the network also. I mean, he may come out, he may be the 10:57. He might be the 10:57 spot right there.
but he is the original face of the WWE. Now that we have Randy Orton as the face of the...
Right.
He was the face of the WWF, I should say.
Yes.
And he has officially been nominated by Vince McMahon as the host of WrestleMania 30 for this year. His official return made WWE the #3 trend on CNN's website. CNN also picked up the story of Hogan returning to WWE, republishing Entertainment Weekly's coverage of the announcement.
Yes. Yeah, it actually got a lot of mainstream media. USA Today reported it. A lot of the AP Wire newspapers were mentioning it. Like you said, CNN, E Entertainment. It's finally WWE gets a little bit of traction in the mainstream media, and you know, hey, it was a good move. They brought him in, so whatever the cost, they got all that free advertising out of it. And leading into WrestleMania 30.
I think there's more advertisement for Hogan coming back to the WWE than there was for him going to TNA back in 2009.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. And that billboard in Stamford and the billboard in Times Square, notwithstanding. But yeah, it's the biggest story in wrestling right now is the return of Hulk Hogan, and you know he is an iconic figure in the WWF. Like you said, he was the face of it. You know, if Bruno Sammartino was the face of Vince Sr.'s version of the WWE, WWF, certainly Hulk Hogan is the face of Vince Jr.'s organization. And
the original face, at least.
You know, and it's come full circle with WrestleMania 30, being that Hogan was, you know, the headliner of WrestleMania 1. So I think it's a great move, and you know, hopefully he'll be on a very tight leash and you know, and not be able to run the show as he ruined TNA.
But well, I don't, you know, I think maybe it might be a positive thing if he was allowed to run WrestleMania 30, seeing as, you know, maybe for storyline reasons, seeing as the shenanigans with Triple H and Stephanie and everyone. Yeah. But not on a permanent basis. I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be difficult for the man when he's not able to work. You know, I'm sure he'd love to be able to get in there and you know, do a few bumps. But I have a feeling he's going to make a huge announcement for the next pay-per-view, which will be tables, ladders, and wheelchairs.
I see.
Right, and that one will be brought to you by Life Alert.
Life Alert.
He'll be lying in the middle of the ring. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, he could also do advertisements for Colonial Penn life insurance and things like that, and
yeah, a reverse mortgage for your home. You know,
AARP, of course.
Yeah.
The Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah. You think he can get an underwear, you know, like you know, Michael Jordan does the Hanes. You think he can get like undergarments? I don't know. Depends.
It depends. I'm not sure. Depends.
Anyway, I walked you right into that one.
Yes.
But anyway,
Hulk Hogan, the Godfather of the Ring, as somebody called him, will appear on the first Raw Backstage Pass on the WWE Network, which will air after Raw goes off the air on USA.
Yes. And there's speculation we talked about before of Undertaker coming back tonight. So that may be the 10:57 mark. You know, I think the first 2 hours of Raw are going to be just, you know, the recap of the pay-per-view. And I think really the excitement is really going to come down to after the 10:30 mark to see what they're going to do to make you switch over to the network. So for the people that haven't already signed up, they're going to like be in a scramble to get on there to find out what's going to happen.
It might start to get busy again around 11.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, you know, you're watching us go on your Android, your other device.
I'm going to be honest, I'm waiting till tomorrow night to order the network.
Oh, my goodness.
I think it might be totally slowed down by then.
Yeah, I spent a couple hours this morning, starting at 9 a.m. with the rest of the United States trying to get on. This page is not available, unable to process your order, blah, blah, blah. And I spent a good couple hours trying to get in, and I finally gave up and gave it a rest. And after school, when the kids got home, I went back on and got in after a couple of tries. So we were watching it around 3:30ish, and watching the on-demand portion of it anyway. So we're in. We got the Roku box, and it looks great. You know,
I have a gold-plated Roku box.
Ah, so. And that's only one means of getting on the network. You can use it on your Android device. You can use it on PS3, Xbox 4, or Xbox One, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
PS3, PS4, Xbox One. Excuse me, I'm getting my numbers confused.
Getting your numbers confused.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways of accessing the network. But I think, you know, after the initial craziness of everyone trying to sign up at one time, it'll level off and be a good, you know, solid product. That being said, the stock nosedived today a little bit, went down 67 cents to just under $24 at $23.99.
Which is still a steal.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It nosedived a little bit with the commotion with everybody trying to get on.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, after the numbers come in, you know, it is a 6-month commitment, so you're looking at a minimum of $60 per subscriber, and you know when the subscriber numbers come out, if it's, you know, 500,000 subscribers, multiplied by that $60, you know that's guaranteed.
All those bank accounts have to get debited.
And yeah, that's guaranteed revenue. So
all those credit cards.
Yeah, yeah. So I expect the stock to definitely bounce back. So that being said.
That being said.
Let's cash in, baby.
Let's cash in, baby. Or brother. Everybody's excited about seeing Hulk Hogan tonight. Hulkamania running wild. In the official press release, WWE CEO Vince McMahon pointed to Hogan being brought back to help launch the network, which, stating the obvious, he says, quote, "We are thrilled that Hulk Hogan has returned home to WWE. It's fitting to have him help us celebrate 30 years of WrestleMania and usher in a new era with the launch of WWE Network." Now, they've had several falling outs over the past, I don't know how many decades now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, the last time Hulk Hogan was around was 2007, and he worked for TNA.
Yeah. Oh, he fell asleep.
From 2009 to fall of 2013.
Yes.
When Dixie Carter fired him. Wow.
I don't think, you know, storyline Dixie fired him, but I think the money ran out.
The money ran out.
To pay Hogan, and he walked away.
He walked away. They couldn't afford him.
Limped away.
Limped away, whatever.
But
wheeled away.
I'd be interested to know what the payday for Hogan is for this appearance, and what, like, if they have a long-term idea of what they're going to do with him. You know, if he's just going to be here from now until WrestleMania, or you know, he's going to be a on and off part of the company.
I could see him being on and off for a while. You know, bring him out here and there.
I think if he can get over his ego, I mean, he may be able to transition into like the Jesse Ventura role at the desk. You know, because I mean, the guys can still talk. He's one of the greatest promos ever. You gotta put him up there at least in the top 10. You know, I mean, you're not going to beat Ric Flair for a promo, but you know, I mean, I think Hogan in his day had a great run on the mic, and it's possible he can transition to sit behind the desk.
I think he's slowly realizing that the show doesn't revolve around him.
Yeah. You know, and like I said, if you rein in his ego and allow him to use his knowledge of the business and you know, his mic abilities, I think he can build some of these guys up in the ring and give them a good talk, like much like Jesse Ventura did. It remains to be seen.
It remains to be seen. You know, we'll see what happens there.
But while we're on the subject of Hogan, Hogan Madison Square Garden won the belt from the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik is in Maxim magazine this month, and he's also in Playboy magazine this month. And if anybody is on Twitter and you listen and follow to the Iron Sheik, the guy is just hysterical. He's very candid, no bones about it. He says his mind, speaks his mind, and in the Playboy interview, he was just hysterical. I mean, it's a great interview. It's a good read. I did read it for the articles.
I'm sure you did.
And the Maxim interview is pretty much the same, but his managers right now are trying to get him either some sort of reality show deal, and I would definitely tune in to watch it because Iron Sheik is just a funny dude. You know, he just says whatever he wants to, whatever's on his mind, and he bashes the Ultimate Warrior. So
he's probably not too pleased about him being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Right.
And, well, I'd like to go over the network again.
Yeah.
If anybody has, you know, I'm going to run through this one more time. If anybody not clear as to what it is, or you know, if anybody hasn't had the chance to sign up for it or wasn't sure if they wanted to or not. It's public access. You're not really supposed to advertise, but I'll run through it. You know, I'm not going to tell you go ahead and.
You know, caveat: we make nothing off this show. We make nothing by promoting or talking about any of the wrestling products or the network or what have you. I mean, this is something that we're interested in and we like to talk about and we like to do. So, you know, we're not telling you to go out and do it, but we're just giving you the information that's out there.
Exactly. So this is what it is. What is the WWE Network? It's an over-the-top online distribution network. It was announced back in January, early January, I believe the 12th in Las Vegas. The launch date is today. It's the low price of $9.99 a month. And a 6-month commitment.
Yes.
I believe they bill you.
That I'm still not clear on. One of my sources says they're going to bill you the $9.99 a month, and another source says that it's going to be the 6-month commitment all in one lump sum. I'm not really sure yet. That remains to be seen.
You'll have to look at your bank account and make sure you didn't get charged for 5 of them.
Right. Check your banking institution.
Exactly. So you know, there's. You have to look at your bank statements.
But I mean, that being said, the pay-per-view last night was $50, $49.99 in standard definition. So, you know, right there, I mean, you're getting 6 months for roughly $60. So the cost of one pay-per-view.
It's essentially the cost of if you don't sign up for this, what WrestleMania 30 will cost you on DirecTV or Comcast or AT&T.
So you're getting a full year's worth of content, you know. For the price of one pay-per-view. So.
Right. So you get all 12 pay-per-views on this network.
Yes.
Ran on this network. There's 2 facets to it. A 24/7 linear service that will be run like a traditional channel with scheduled programming.
Yes.
You saw some of that scheduled programming today once you were able to log on.
Yep.
And B, a video on-demand service using tape library content. The programming lineup will initially be centered on Raw and SmackDown pre- and post-shows, hence the reason why this is our last episode on Monday, as well as WWE Legends House, Countdown, the Monday Night War, and WrestleMania Rewind as some of the many programs which will be seen on the network.
Their tape library that they have access to is over 100,000 hours worth of footage. So I don't think we're going to run out of things to watch on the WWE Network. You know, we're not going to be watching the same rerun of Seinfeld for the 8,000th time and be able to recite it. Although Seinfeld was wonderful and I enjoyed it very much. You know, 100,000 hours worth of content and growing. You know, he's still buying off libraries. And, you know, again, original content. And they haven't mentioned any of the WWE production of, you know, WWE Film Network. So, the film studio, excuse me. So, more than likely, at some point, we're probably going to see movies, you know, with the WWE superstars. And, of course, the Divas, Total Divas show, they're going to show the reruns after E runs the original episodes. So, you know, the content is there, and there's no lack of what the WWE can show. So it should be just a wonderful source of entertainment at any time. Like you said, there's a lot of on-demand. So you know, my schedule's crazy, your schedule's crazy. You know, if you want to watch whatever network show, you got to watch it when CBS or NBC tells you to watch it.
But this, you could watch it whenever.
Immediately, yep.
Right. And it's not to say that certain, you know, satellite providers or cable providers have that on demand,
right,
where you can do that. But this is wrestling.
Yes.
Anything you want to see.
Yes.
Tape library content initially be centered on every past WWE, WCW, and ECW pay-per-view, plus replays of Raw, SmackDown, and Main Event, plus episodes from the shows released through the 24/7 aspect. They don't believe that this network will ever make it to cable or satellite. This is just going to be strictly online.
You know, I think it's a great business model, as we've discussed before. Netflix is extremely successful, and you know, Netflix you get on your tablet, your Android device,
Absolutely,
your iPhone, and what have you. And you know, in the world we live in, you know, people aren't connected to their TV anymore. You know, you're watching it on your iPad and and all your mobile devices, and it's great. It's everywhere you are.
Think about that long plane trip to the Philippines, or whatever, and you could be up there 40,000 feet once you're allowed to turn on your mobile device, and you can watch WrestleMania.
Yeah. You know, I mean, on the train, you know, wherever you are, you have it with you. And I think it's a great business model. And like I said, you know, you're not connected to your TV. It's not hardwired into the TV, and you can watch it anywhere you want. And I really think that not only the WWE, not only Netflix, but a lot of the networks, you know, are going to go in that model, so that they don't have to share the revenue with the cable companies, with the Comcast, with an AT&T, and just get the direct revenue. And for the consumer, you know, right now you're paying for a cable service, and you're getting, you know, a laundry list of shows that, or excuse me, stations that you may not watch or may not be interested in. But in order to get this, you have to get this whole.
You have my provider. There's probably about 300 or so or more channels with just sports.
Yeah.
I'm not really a sports fan.
Right.
I'm a wrestling fan.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm paying all this extra money for channels, sports channels, that I'll never watch a hockey game between two provinces in Canada, you know, the Canadian Football League, anything like that. I'll never watch that. You know, so I've played golf maybe 2 or 3 times in my life.
Yep.
And I'll never watch the Golf Channel. I seriously doubt it.
Exactly. So I mean, you know, at this point with traditional cable providers, you're paying for a lot of content that you're not interested in, and you know, you really don't want. With a network such as the WWE Network or Netflix, you know, you have access to something that you're interested in. So I really think the way of the future is the consumer is going to have more power of what they're going to want to purchase and what they're going to, you know, what they want to come through their entertainment device.
Your bill will totally consist of one day whatever networks, online networks, that you are subscribing to.
You know, walking into the grocery store, you know, you buy what you want, you know, and pay for what you want, and that's it.
That's
you
it.
know, you don't have to buy a cartload of items that you may or may not use.
Exactly.
You know, and I think if this is successful, you're going to see more and more networks and content providers go to this model, and we will see the end of the traditional cable
or satellite as we know it.
Or satellite provider as we know it.
It'll be something totally different, something to look for. Did I hear something in back?
I believe there's some commotion. Somebody's coming into the studio.
Somebody's coming into the studio. We're doing a live show. I don't really, you know, I don't know how people get through security around here. We're gonna have to talk about that, John. I mean, with them. I don't mean to.
What do we have here?
What is this?
Oh, the buzzards. Is that Mr. Dacey?
Mr. Dacey. What are you doing with that mask?
I told you I was abducted.
Oh,
Here's
my
the proof,
goodness.
right here.
There's the proof right there.
The Wyatt
Duh.
family. Mr. Dacey,
Got away with the mask.
welcome back.
Got away with a mask.
Great to be back.
How many weeks has it been that we've been searching and
Quite a long time.
the mysterious phone calls and sounds and noises?
But thank God for my GPS.
Did you escape from the Wyatt family at the pay-per-view last night?
You know, I did hear some of your comments on the way in about the network.
Yes, sir.
I was one of the other ones that was having difficulty this morning. Seeing those messages, I couldn't get online myself. I kept getting the same thing. The page cannot be displayed. This link is unavailable. And then this afternoon I experienced an issue where I went to click on a video and couldn't get any video.
Really?
But I was finally able to get everything resolved, and just before I left to come down here, everything is up and running.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as I predicted, you know, they're using the same content provider that supplies the MLB network, MLB TV, mobile and computer service. And obviously, you had most of, you know, all of the wrestling fans in the United States trying to log on at one time. And we predict that
As you predicted previously on this show, you had said that it was going to be a big disaster. Everybody trying to get on at the same time, and that's why I think they should have did pre-orders.
Yeah, and you know, part of it was on the MLB network side, and the other part was on the PayPal and the credit card service. Just couldn't handle the sheer amount of volume that was coming through.
And to answer your question, I did hear you say when I was on my way in about the payment. When I signed up this afternoon, it did say that because you're getting a week free.
Yes.
And then I will be getting billed as of next Monday, the 3rd.
Yes.
And it will be strictly $9.99.
Yes.
A month.
A month.
Okay.
And then it will automatically renew after 6 months.
Yes. Okay.
So it'll just be the one fee every month.
Yeah.
It'll be the one fee every month. It'll automatically come out unless you tell them you don't want it anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So initially it is a 6-month commitment, and then it's a renewal every 6 months.
Yeah, I told it to automatically renew every 6 months.
Yeah.
When I signed up.
Exactly. Because I don't think you're going to stop watching wrestling anytime soon.
No. But let's talk about a little bit about the pay-per-view last night.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get to that.
What did you think of the so-called screw job, once again, of Daniel Bryan?
Once again, Daniel Bryan has been left high and dry, despite everything that I've said on this show before, 2 weeks ago when we were on. They are still not giving this man what he so richly deserves. They're not giving the fans what they deserve.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned on the new network they had the catchphrase, you know, and the top catchphrase, and the number 2 catchphrase on the WWE's own survey was
Yes. Yes.
the yes chant.
Yes.
The guy
Yes.
is over. You know, the guy is so popular. Yeah, I really hope that we're all wrong, and this is really just building up to something, and Vince is just holding off, and to see how hot and bothered he can get all of the internet wrestling community.
I mean,
I think so.
not one person in that arena cheered when Randy Orton won last night.
Yeah. So I mean, is he really just holding us to the fire over and over and over again until we really, you know, like maybe at a WrestleMania 30? And
I think, you know, he's either building up to something at WrestleMania 30, or he's just trying to bury this guy. He just doesn't like him because he didn't, like you said, he doesn't like anything he didn't create.
Right.
And, you know, well, one way or the other, I really think that at the end of the day, Daniel Bryan will end up with the championship at WrestleMania.
Oh, when that happens, I mean,
because
he should.
it's just pressure. He's getting pressure from so many fans, so many groups. There's petitions, people trying to sign petitions to get him into the main event.
Right.
So when you have that much pressure on you, and you're the CEO of the WWE, and you just launched this network, you're one of the richest men in the world, and you're going to become richer yet inside of the next week.
Yes.
What do? You give in.
Like I said, I hope that this is just a boiling pot that at some point is going to explode. And maybe at WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan finally gets his comeuppance. He finally gets his shot. And it'll just blow the roof off the place. It really will.
I mean, we've discussed off air. I mean, here he's bringing back Batista and all these older wrestlers, but I think you'd want to give a push to somebody like Daniel Bryan instead of, giving it to Batista.
And the funny part is one of our biggest criticisms of TNA was that they brought in all these old guys, and they were letting the senior citizens run the roost. And now it just seems like that's what Vince is doing, because now we're going to party like it's 1999. Here we are. We got Batista back. We got Brock Lesnar. Now Hogan's back. Road Dogg and Jesse James.
It's not saying that they can't go, and I'm not saying I don't know if I'd go as far as to call them senior citizens, but middle-aged and crazy.
Well, I mean, it's all relative to the sport, and in the sport they are the old guard.
Right.
I mean, senior citizen, it may be the wrong terminology, but I mean, you know where I'm going with it. But it's just all these guys that are past their prime,
right?
So to speak. And now you've got a guy like Daniel Bryan who's at the peak of his prime, and you're really holding him back and pushing a guy like Batista. Who, there is a place in the WWE for Batista, but main event of WrestleMania, I don't think is it.
No.
He had his spot.
Yeah.
His spot came and went.
Yeah, without a doubt. But we'll see. Vince has been doing this for 50 years, and obviously he's a much smarter man than we are. So hopefully he knows what he's doing, and down the road a piece, we may be the ones with the egg on our face.
Right.
It seems like he wants to live in the past instead of the future.
Yeah.
The guy disappears for 4 years, comes back, and gets to be in the main event at WrestleMania.
Something's wrong with that picture.
He leaves his job and comes back, and with a promotion basically 4 years later.
Yes.
Of course, then we also had the before mentioned Wyatts.
Yes.
The Wyatts
defeating the Shield.
The Wyatts defeating the Shield. Do you see the Wyatts and the Shield with a rematch at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. That's going to be huge.
That's going to be huge, and that's going to. And if that is the rematch is scheduled for WrestleMania, I think that's going to be the end of the Shield right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to cause the permanent breakup of the Shield.
I'd like to see Roman Reigns out on his own.
Yeah. Well, there's a little rumor out there that there may be a title change tonight on Raw. So
really?
I don't know as far as predicting it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Something obviously tonight's Raw is going to be a huge event. Something major is going to happen. And
I could see a member of the Wyatt family getting a belt tonight.
And maybe more than one major event is going to happen tonight to drive you over to the network. And Undertaker may be the big thing that'll happen at the end of the show. But while I'm thinking about it, the Steve Austin show, the podcast that I'm always talking about, he was talking about CM Punk leaving, and he called it a storyline.
He called it a storyline.
Steve Austin was talking about his time after the Royal Rumble. He was in Los Angeles for the Monday Night Raw.
Right.
And now he was backstage. He was talking about, he's talking to this person, that person, and he ran into Vince, and he did say that he spoke to him for a little bit, but Vince was extremely busy. And during the course of the podcast, he did say, he did call CM Punk leaving a storyline. And then he said, he tripped himself, and then a moment later said, well, if it is a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But the way it rolled off his tongue, when you hear it, it sounds like a truth, like he knows it's a storyline. And then he caught himself and said, if it is a storyline.
Right,
Yeah.
like he wasn't supposed to say something, he screwed up.
Yeah. But then again, it is a podcast and it records it in advance, so he could have gone back to edit that. So I mean, he may be in on the joke too. He may be, he might be in on the work. But
guess we'll
maybe
have to wait
CM Punk
and
coming
see.
back.
Maybe have to wait and see.
So
It's a wait and see right now. He's got 6 months left on his contract, so
yes,
there's plenty of time, if he comes back. But I got some more Elimination Chamber results. Goldust and Cody Rhodes defeated Ryback and Curtis Axel. That's the one match I kind of missed.
yeah.
Cryback.
I guess I didn't miss much there.
Exactly.
Intercontinental Championship, Big E, the champion over Jack Swagger. They're just calling him Big E now.
Big E, yeah.
Now, is that certain fair that happens in September in Massachusetts? Are they going to get upset with
The
him?
Big E, right?
Right.
Yeah, and they own that. Yeah, that is a license. Oh,
That's something
interesting.
that's something to think about.
Interesting. Another fight.
Never thought of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, very good. You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Hollywood Jay. Good catch.
Never thought of that, Jay.
Yeah, the Big E.
yeah, the Big E and the Big E.
Right. Wow.
Maybe the Big E will have to go to the Big E.
Make an appearance there. Right.
That'll settle everything.
I mean, after all, WWE had to get the F out.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. I love that shirt too. I still have that somewhere.
It probably still fits, right?
I think it does.
You got a 12-year-old physique.
I have to keep an eye on that, see if anything develops.
I have
with
a
that.
T-shirt from 1994 from a Class T-shirt. It still fits me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the New Kids on the Block concert.
No. my graduating class, the best graduating class in all of North Haven.
What, the only graduating class in North? No, I'm sorry.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
Hey,
You just offended 2 out of the 3 people.
okay, I'm not from North Haven, sorry.
I hate to admit it, but I'm out 30 years this year.
Yeah.
I'm out 20.
I'm in between the two of you, so.
You're in between. You're somewhere there in between.
Yeah. I went to Milford High School, the last class of Milford High School. Thank you very much.
The last? They don't
Yes.
have a Milford High School anymore.
No. Yeah, I was the last.
Is that how much damage you did to it?
That's right. We destroyed it, baby. After we left, they shut it down.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not know this.
We were the last freshman class, and they announced when we went in as freshmen that there was going to be one more year of the school, so we were the last sophomore class, and they didn't take any more incoming freshmen, and then they closed the school, so I was the last freshman class and the very last
It took them a few
sophomore
more
class.
years before they tore our school down.
Yeah, no, now it's where the town hall is and all the city
I see.
city offices and stuff like that. So I mean, the building, the physical building is still there.
I see.
I heard you mentioning earlier tables, ladders, and wheelchairs.
Yes.
Do you think the winner of that match has to get an oxygen tank down?
Yeah, the oxygen chamber.
Yeah, the oxygen.
We had the elimination chamber.
You go to you take a ramp up and you grab the oxygen tank.
Right.
I guess that's how it would work. New Age Outlaws defeated the Usos last night.
Right.
That's unfortunate. I would have rather seen the Usos win that.
You know, I think the Usos are up and coming, and their moment hasn't quite come yet. And
It's on its way.
Yeah, we'll see them
As
down
I
the road a
said
piece.
earlier, Jay, they're giving all the chances to the old timers, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the favors that were owed that Triple H has to give people now.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's what it is. Titus O'Neil defeated Darren Young. The breakup of the primetime players. I was a little disappointed that they broke up.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't see it really coming.
yeah, Titus O'Neil has the potential to be turned into a huge animal. Yeah, I mean, he's got the physique for it, and I really think he can, given a little training, get on the mic and be a huge heel in that company and get over really good. And, you know, I
He's
think...
got the size behind him, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think a huge feud, if they're going to use Big E as a baby face, you know, Big E and Titus O'Neil, just for their physique.
They could tear it up.
Yeah, would be able to tear it up. I like to see Titus O'Neil just body press Big E right over his head. You know, have a body press challenge. See what happens.
It'd be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah.
I mean, Darren Young is good too, but he's like a lot smaller.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a perennial mid-carder. I think he's, you know, he'll have a place, but you'll see him like in a feud with like a guy like The Miz.
Right.
Or, you know, somewhere in the middle. By the way, congratulations to The Miz. He just got married to Maurice.
Wow.
And
what a lucky man.
Yeah, you can look at our Facebook page, our Facebook group, and see a photo of that. Our photographer was at the wedding.
Jimmy Uso, isn't it? Was it Jimmy that just got married to?
Yes.
Cameron.
Cameron, Trinity.
Trinity.
Yeah. What?
Naomi.
Naomi, sorry. It's Trinity. So.
And her real name is Trinity.
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of marriages going on. The soap opera Ronier's got it right. You know,
exactly.
They're making matches in heaven here.
Matches in heaven. But a little more things to get to here.
Yep.
It looks like Jake the Snake Roberts is going to need surgery tomorrow morning.
Cancer behind his knee, I believe. Something to that effect. And we wish him all well. And you know, after what he's gone through in the past couple of years, and we've talked about it on the show, and you know, him going into DDP and getting his life straightened out, and now, you know, another blow to him, you know, with the cancer behind the knee, and hopefully they take his addictive personality into account and don't prescribe him like painkillers that, you know, for after surgery. And you know, get him hooked on that. You know,
we don't want to do that.
So hopefully, DDP will be there with him and be right on top of it.
Right.
Speaking of DDP,
yeah, I was going to lead you right into that.
He was featured on ABC Shark Tank this past Friday night.
Yep.
For his DDP yoga. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make a deal with any of the sharks, but he did have the gentleman with him, the former Marine.
Yes, yes.
What a transformation, huh, Jay?
I remember that video.
Yeah.
I remember.
Even from the video till now, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like the same gentleman.
Yeah, Diamond Dallas Page is doing a lot of great work with a lot of great people, in this program that he's you know, fine-tuned and honed in on is working very well, not only for people in the wrestling business, but for people in all walks of life. And that video, if you go on DDP Yoga's page and see, it's just an inspirational video. The guy was like 400 change pounds.
He was. I hardly could get out of bed. I
yeah. And DDP changed his life and saved his life. You know, and it's just incredible. And you know, now we got Scott Hall and of course Jake the Snake, you know, in on the program, and he straightened those guys out and got them, you know, back to a healthy way of living. And you know,
it's remarkable.
A lot of it, DDP really isn't making a whole lot of money on, you know, on the product. You know, the gentleman he helped from the Marine that he helped, he did it for free. You know, Scott Hall and Jake Roberts lived in DDP's house. So it's not that he's doing this for profit. He's doing it because he believes in it. And
he believes in these people that he's helping.
Yeah, he's helping people out. And he's a huge sponsor on the Steve Austin Show and Talk is Jericho. And if you, I don't know if I mentioned the Talk is Jericho episodes back-to-back with Chavo Guerrero. And on the first episode, Chavo describes and tells about the events of the death of Eddie Guerrero. And on the second episode, he talks about the last days of Chris Benoit. And you know, Chavo and Chris were you know, riding mates on the road, and Chavo believes that Chris Benoit called him after he did the deed. And just to hear Chavo tell the story, it's harrowing, and it's something, exactly, something you really need to hear out of his mouth. And I highly recommend for people that are wrestling fans, obviously you are, if you're watching us, Talk is Jericho on iTunes podcasts and Steve Austin Show. Jericho has a lot of people outside the wrestling world on because he's a musician also.
Right.
Yeah.
And Scott Ian of Anthrax. It was a fantastic interview because Scott Ian's married to Meatloaf's daughter.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, they got some funny stories about that.
I can imagine.
And it's some really good stuff. So I would definitely recommend that you check it out. But, sorry.
Oh, no.
I
big
diverse.
deal. No big deal.
Digress.
But like you said, Jake Roberts with the painkillers, I mean, they might have to... I mean, is there anything else he could take?
Well, I mean, he needs to be monitored, you know,
Right.
Strictly, and possibly have somebody administer it to him so he doesn't have access to it. That would be my suggestion.
That would be the best thing to do, is have someone administer it to him.
Yeah.
And then the stuff
In the
goes
proper
away
dosage at the proper time.
at the proper time, and then the stuff goes away right then and there.
Correct.
So it's not around him.
Right.
We wouldn't want him to fall back into his old habits.
No.
He does think that the surgery scheduled for tomorrow morning, he does think he'll be around in time to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and he's planning to do that still on April 5th in New Orleans, and also fulfill all his commitments on the indie scene.
Yeah,
next
I
month.
mean, as far as WrestleMania goes, we're about 41 days out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and recovery for that. You know, even if he has to come on, you know, in a walker or be wheeled up to the podium, then he can stand at the podium. He should be fine.
Right.
You know, all things going well.
All things, yeah, exactly. As long as everything goes good, which hopefully it will. So Godspeed to Jake the Snake Roberts,
Yes.
and hopefully he makes a full recovery here.
Yep.
But
And you mentioned, you know, he's going to be there for the Hall of Fame. I'll go out on a limb and say that they're going to announce tonight for the Hall of Fame. Finally, they're going to announce and acknowledge Paul Bearer. And
Finally, huh?
Finally.
I'll say that for the first time in the history of the WWE, I think that Undertaker will break character and induct Paul Bearer into the Hall of Fame.
I'm sure.
The Hall of Fame ceremony is going to be available live
on the network
on
in
the
its
network.
entirety.
The
Yes.
full Hall
First
of Fame
time.
ceremony.
Yeah, for the first time.
Unlike on USA, where they would only show clips of it. Like
Right,
3.
and even on the DVD, you get an edited version. Because
Right.
I still would love to see the entire Bob Backlund.
I wonder if they'll add that. You think they'll add that now to the network?
I mean, they have it available.
Right.
So, I mean, they may have, like, maybe a Hall of Fame week or something and show the Hall of Fame
I'd like to
inductions.
go back and see that,
Yeah.
because I was unable to see that. So
How many years have they been doing this? I mean, they've been doing this for...
The actual ceremony, I know...
We're going about 10 years now for the actual...
Yeah, I know, because, matter of fact, I just found at the flea market the 2004 DVD of the Hall of Fame induction.
Really?
Superstar Billy Graham, Magnificent Morocco. Trying to think who else was in that class.
I believe our buddy Walter Mann went a few years back.
Jesse Ventura was on that, was in that class.
Right.
And am I mistaken with Sergeant Slaughter? Maybe was in that class as
He
well.
could have been, yeah.
But yeah, definitely Ventura and Magnificent Morocco.
The first Hall of Fame inductee was Andre the Giant.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, but they didn't. I don't think they had like an official ceremony.
Right.
At least not for the public.
No.
So I want to say at least as far back as 2004. So like you said, you have roughly about 10 years of the induction ceremony. So I'd like to see some more of it.
Absolutely.
Definitely, and it just keeps getting more interesting, as years go by, more and more possibilities for that
Yeah.
keep rising, But maybe another future Hall of Famer will be Mark Henry. He is claiming he will really retire this time for real in 2 years. He's
like this guy retired, and Ric Flair retired.
He caught everybody off guard
And Brett Favre.
last year with his, and nobody else was in on that joke except him and Vince and John Cena.
Right.
when he went out there and claimed he was retiring and then attacked John Cena.
Yeah.
Everybody can remember that.
Yes.
It was funny.
Yep.
It was humorous. So he says he will retire in a couple of years. Figured I'd just run that by everybody too.
Yep.
Also, on a sad note, Nelson Frazier Jr., also known to the wrestling community as Big Daddy V,
Yes.
King Mabel,
Viscera.
has passed away at the age of 43 years old.
Another one going early. Massive heart attack. He's a big man.
Big man.
Can't carry all that weight around.
No, he was at the New England Fan Fest this past summer.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And he was scheduled to be there again this year.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, he passed away. We do have a phone call.
We do have a phone call.
Yes.
Let's take this call. You are live on the Squared Circle.
Yes, sir. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. How are you tonight, Ed?
Very well, very well. Good to see the Thunderous one back. I got home kind of late, so I put it on, and I saw Tom there, so it was good to see him.
Hey, did you see I brought back the proof of my abduction?
Say again?
I brought back the proof of my abduction here.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
There it is right there.
There it is right there.
I'm just like, oh, very good. Sounds of lambs. I like that.
I told you the Wyatts had me in captivity.
Yeah, very good.
Ed, while I got you, did you happen to see the Ronda Rousey fight?
No, I heard a little bit about it. I'll probably watch it on YouTube.
Yes, yes.
A couple of my friends on Facebook were talking about it.
All of 55 seconds, or 66 seconds.
Yeah, I guess she's pretty awesome. But but I'll get a chance to see it. Just a couple things I wanted to comment on. I heard Evan Roberts who does middays at WFAN out of New York is a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And this morning he was talking about trying to get on that to get that network, and he was having the same problems that I guess you were having earlier, John.
Yeah.
So.
And me.
So you too, Tommy? Yeah. So, but he said he finally got on, but I guess they compared it to Obamacare, trying to say.
Yeah.
Boy, trouble. And I have a little bit of Squared Circle trivia.
Yes.
Okay.
To report here. This day, tomorrow, 50 years ago, a big event in Squared Circle. If you know what I mean by Squared Circle.
Yes.
If you could tell me what big event happened 50 years ago,
50 years ago.
Yesterday.
50 years ago yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Ali Frazier fight?
February 25th, 1964.
That wasn't Ali.
You know, I could get you on the technicality.
Yeah.
Cassius Clay?
Say again?
Cassius Clay?
Cassius Clay, yes, very good. Cassius Clay, February 25th, 1964, as a 7-1 underdog, defeated Sonny Liston.
Wow.
By a 7th round knockout. It was, I guess until Buster Douglas came along, it was the biggest upset in boxing history.
Yeah.
And it was right after that fight that Cassius Clay said, you know, my name is now Muhammad Ali, and then of course the rest of his career is in.
So I took a guess at it, and I pretty much nailed it.
Well, you said Ali Frazier, and you know, on the technicality, because that night he wasn't known as Ali.
Correct.
He wasn't known as Ali, but you get half a point. You got one of the contestants right.
And I got the assist.
Yes.
I'd stay out of it.
Well, I'll give you a...
Marcellus Clay, or the Louisville Rip, they used to call him back in the pre-Liston days.
I'll give you a quick quote from Bob Dylan. He says, "I was shadow boxing earlier in the day and figured I was ready for Cassius Clay."
And
I saw the post. Kate Blanchett played Bob Dylan in a movie.
Yes, I'm not there. If you haven't seen it, rent it, see it, Netflix it. Right, it's fantastic. She was phenomenal.
Yeah, I just saw Blue Jasmine the other day. I'm trying to get, you know, my appreciation of the Oscars. I want to see as many movies as I can until the Oscars come out.
Yeah, she's going to get robbed out of that Oscar.
Well, Meryl Streep was awesome. If you haven't, I know a little off topic here, but Meryl Streep was awesome in that August. I'll Osage County, August.
Yes.
I think it was a depressing movie, but she was marvelous.
Yeah, and next week we're going to be following you, so you're going to have to.
Yes, I heard the big move to Tuesday. Now this is because of the network.
Yes, it is.
It's all because of the network.
So actually, I was going to mention that while we're on the subject. Since Ed is on the line, I know people were expecting to see us tomorrow evening. But because of good old Mother Nature, right, Ed? And I haven't been able to get down and finish our editing for our 20th anniversary show. So our anniversary show is rescheduled, and it is now noted on Facebook as our 20th anniversary plus 3 months. And this is no joke. It is rescheduled for April Fool's Day. So... For now on,
well, you fellas are going to have to up your game and keep the audience peppy and happy because we're going to be the follow-up. So we can't have people tuning out during your show.
Well, just think.
We'll be the warm-up act.
That's right.
And then I'm sure Tommy will be doing double duty.
Yeah, double duty
on both programs.
Yeah. So the night
I hope that doesn't mean we have to pay him double now.
So the night of our anniversary, and we're on at a special time. On April 1st, we'll be on 6:30 p.m. to 8, and then at 8 o'clock, the squared circle will follow us.
Nice, very good.
Right.
I'm going to have to get a GPS system because I forgot how to get to NHTV.
I know, really. I almost did tonight.
Ed, real quick.
Walter Mann. I never heard that name before.
Walter Mann. He is the man.
Yes.
Real quick.
That's all for me tonight. Good luck to you.
Thank you. With 3 minutes left, I want to say this Friday night, Mohegan Sun, Andrew Calandrelli from Ultimate MMA right around the corner here on State Street.
I will be watching that.
Yes, tune in on Spike TV.
Spike TV.
I believe at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, the prelims are going to be going off at 6 o'clock. And I believe Andrew Calandrelli is on the preliminary card. And the main card with Rampage Jackson starts at 9 o'clock, Spike TV. Be there, support your local wrestlers, your local fighters, ultimatemmact.com, right around the corner here. You can walk there from our studio. Andrew Calandrelli, good luck, sir, and we'll be there.
And gentlemen, I'm officially donating this to our set.
Yes.
Do it.
So we can have this for our set decoration.
Before we go,
yes, sir.
Some decorum here.
Yes.
Time for worst of the week. I'm afraid I have some bad news.
90
the
seconds,
worst
sir.
of the week is Bad News Barrett. How many times can you come out on
During
one pay-per-view?
Yeah. I like the gimmick. I like what he's saying. They're really overusing it at the moment, but I expect that to go really good places. But on that.
We gotta wrap up now.
But my worst of the week was this morning, wasting my time trying to get on the network.
I'll second that.
Yes, sir.
Well, I didn't have to experience that. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow night. That's how busy a man I am.
Welcome back, Mr. Dacey.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Mr. Dacey. Thank you, John. I'm Hollywood J. Williams. Good night and good luck. We will see you back here next Tuesday, 8 p.m.
Yes.
NHTV.